Welcome in. It's time for another SDH Network 1v1. I'm Jason Longshore. And for those of you who have been following along this season in the UPSL, we're down to the National Final Four. And Soda City from Columbia, South Carolina is trying to do something that has never happened in this league's history: go back to back. They won the last national championship in August in Pittsburgh. I was lucky enough to be there for that. They have to go to California now to try to defend their title, and it's been quite the journey to get to this point. It's been quite the journey for the man that we're talking to today, Hykeem Martin from Soda City FC. Hykeem, thanks for taking some time for me today.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Pleasure being here.
So you got to tell me about everything from that last match. Full disclosure, it was the first time I had ever worked as a sideline reporter in a game. Typically, I'm
Right.
doing play-by-play or I'm doing color, and I got a lot of extra work for that game, thanks to you. you know, First off, how are you? Is everything okay? Did you get to the emergency dentist? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Right now I'm okay. I have a retainer in my mouth.
Okay,
Not only did I get the front tooth knocked out, but I also got the tooth to the left of it knocked out as well. Well,
I
it
didn't
was
know that.
misplaced. Yeah, it was misplaced behind where all my other teeth are supposed to be. So
Oh,
I ended up having to get that tooth removed as well. So now I have two teeth removed, and the guy also, he obviously he doesn't know this, but he fractured a bone in my gums.
oh.
So so I have to wear this retainer for the next 3 to 4 months until, that bone heals up, and then, we'll go from the next steps, after the retainer.
Wow. So
Yes, sir.
you gonna be good to play?
Yeah, my dentist is recommending me to wear a mouth guard.
Okay.
But actually before we leave tomorrow, I'm gonna stop by somewhere to see if I can find a mouth guard. It's definitely gonna be an adjustment
Yeah.
for sure. Obviously, not many soccer players play with mouthpieces, so I know it's gonna be a bit difficult, but it's just something I'm gonna have to deal with if I know I want to play.
Yeah, what struck me about that game was I didn't get a good look at when you were hit.
Right.
I saw obviously the blood and that part of it, and then
Yes, sir.
realized that you were missing a tooth. You were not coming out of that game, and
Absolutely not.
just tell me what you were thinking during that whole process where they're telling you not to go back in, and you're like, "No, I'm playing."
Right, right. It was definitely some mixed emotions. I've actually had my tooth chipped a couple of years ago at my old school on my birthday.
Oof.
I had my front tooth chipped, the same exact one. So whenever he knocked it out, I just happened to, feel my mouth because, I got an elbow to the mouth. So I'm just, just normally feeling on my mouth, and I notice I can't feel my front tooth. So I'm touching my mouth, and I'm looking at my fingers, and I see all this blood. So I look at our captain TJ, and I'm like, bro, my tooth is gone. And he's looking at me like go down, go down. So I believe at that time that's whenever they had the ball, and it looked like they were on somewhat of a transition, not really, but I had to go down on one knee so the ref, could know that I have a tooth missing, and that I'm bleeding. I feel like the ref thought I was, being a bit dramatic, but I feel like once he got up close and seen that, this guy's mouth is bleeding, maybe I should stop the game.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm going over there to my coaches and my teammates, I have some people saying, you should just stay out, let the trainer try to put it back in, and just relax the rest of this game. And then, you also have those other teammates. It's like, bro, just play, just keep going. Worry about the tooth after. So it was definitely some mixed emotions and everything like that. And, my coach told me before I made my final decision that he respects whatever decision I make. And I told him, let me keep playing. I started the game. I might as well finish it.
And I think what struck me about you guys, whether it was last season getting the chance to call you for the first time and in the finals, and then
Uh-huh.
the win over KSA, like the family atmosphere that you guys have, it
Right.
feels very close knit between
Right.
the players and the coaching staff.
Right. Uh, the family, we definitely have the family environment. One thing I love about Soda City is it doesn't matter if you're, a new player or if you've been there for years. and stuff like that, we bring anybody and everybody in with welcome arms. We want the absolute best for all of our teammates, coaches as well. So just putting that trust in, having the hard training sessions together, battling and games together, that just brings us all together. And we have a strong support system as well. We always have randomly, some fans traveling to watch us play. So that should just let you know all you need to know about our club and the family environment.
It's a great thing that you were able to find a way to get through in that game because you end
Yes,
up
sir.
becoming the hero in or in extra time.
Yes, sir.
I I saw you and I told Jess and Maddie on the call
Uh-huh.
before the extra time started. I saw you doubled over. I knew you were in a
Right.
lot of pain at that point.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, do you remember at any point then thinking about, man, I don't know if I can keep doing this?
All I could think about at that given time, whenever you see me bending over was, the game, I think the game was tied at that
Yeah, it
point.
was
And
2-2 going into extra time.
okay, yeah, so it was tied, and all I could think was, in my head, I'm like, I got my tooth knocked out. Let me put my body and let me sacrifice for my team because I knew the team needed me, and I knew I had more in my tank. Um, I don't know if you could see this, but players could see like the whole time. People don't realize like it was very hard for me to play in that game because not only do I have to focus on the game, but all I can think about at that given time is I don't have a front tooth.
Mhm.
My mouth is still filled with blood. I have a gall in my mouth. I can't, really speak to my teammates on the field. So it was very difficult. But I'm just glad I was able to help the team and just to push through it. And you know, I'm just thankful that it was the way it was because it could have been worse. I could have got, more teeth knocked out.
Yeah.
So I'm just thankful I was able to push past the challenge and push myself to the limits to help my team come out, victorious.
You end up becoming the hero with both goals in extra time. Soda City
Yes,
wins
sir.
4-2, and you get a nickname out of it as well. Jess on the call when she dropped Toothless Assassin on us, I was pretty shocked. And then the club used it in the graphic. What did you think
Right.
when you heard that for the first time?
When I heard the audio, I couldn't stop laughing. It was definitely funny. The name is definitely stuck with me,
Nice.
since that game. So that's something, that's a funny nickname. I like it.
Jess and Maddie will be very happy to hear that. They were both asking how you were doing and how you liked the nickname.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
so you guys are heading out to try to do something that's just never been done before in this league. It's really hard to go back to back and stay
Yes,
at the
sir.
top of this league. There's a lot of turnover in rosters and a lot of
Right.
new challengers year to year. What is it that makes you guys different and gives you this ability to do it?
I would say, we have a certain grit to us and a certain mentality. Um, everybody, from the starters to the bench players to the coaches to, the people that's higher than the coaches, we all just have this belief to where it doesn't matter what you throw at us, it doesn't matter what you do, we are gonna fight until the whistle is blown for the game to be over. And I feel like that's what sets us apart. Um, I found ourselves multiple times. We always put ourselves in, a jam, whether meaning like we'll go down a goal and we always have to do this extra fight, to get back into the game. As you seen the last game, we scored early, we took our foot off the pedal. They made us pay on a lazy mistake. They tied it 1-1. And then, we give up a silly free kick and they score off of that. Now we're having to, to sub certain players out and, switching formations and throwing people up and things like that. So all of those games just building up and it's just building us closer, and I just feel like just that belief right there sets us apart from anybody. It doesn't matter the skill level or anything when it comes to these other teams. Just we believe in ourselves, we believe we can do this, and we believe we're going to go do something that nobody else has done.
Tell me about your background in the game and how, your soccer career pathway led you to join Soda City when you did.
Well, I've been playing soccer I started at a young age. I started at the age of 4. Um, I attended Greenwood High School to where I was um able to, contribute a lot on the field as far as goals and assists and things like that. After high school, I went to a JUCO school by the name of Spartanburg Methodist College. I was there for a year. Um, the next 2 years after that, I actually did not play any soccer. Um, I was going to a community college in Greenwood, to pick up my grades and things like that. So I didn't play the game for 2 years. And so then I finally reached out to some coaches. Some coaches reached out to me. Um, the year of 2021, I attend Southern Wesleyan University, a Division II school, and the conference is called Conference Carolinas. I
Yeah.
stayed there for 3 years. The first year I could not play due to academics, but the year after that, I was able to play. So I was able to pick up a few accolades at that school, and then my final year, I transferred to Coker University. Um, so just me being able to go to different environments and different schools, having different coaches, that helped me, as a player, just developing and just understanding and knowing the game more on top of whenever I had time to go back and train with Soda City and play games with them. So I actually started with Soda City on accident. I had an old friend that used to play for Soda City. He was an older guy, and he told me one night to just come out to train and just see how I like it. And at first I was a little shaky about it. I was out of the game for 2 years. So whenever I'm, playing with all these guys, I'm realizing how, unfit I am and things of that. So I was a bit on edge about it. The coach ended up saying that he liked me and that he wanted to, bring me onto the team. And, ever since then, I've been playing with Soda City and just been enjoying and just being grateful for the ride.
That's so cool. I mean, you mentioned it earlier about Soda City having that family atmosphere and bringing
Yes,
people
sir.
in and making them feel comfortable. Sounds like you're a prime example of that, and it helped you kind of find your love of the game again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It did. It definitely made me, more appreciative. Because the things, the things we take for granted, some people wish, they could just do it again. So I looked at it at that aspect, of the game and just realizing just be in the moment, play in the moment. Don't take anything lightly. Take advantage of all the training sessions just to get better and develop your game.
The thing I've loved about watching you guys play is every player in the group seems very versatile. You guys can play a number of different positions.
Right.
You shift from three in the back to four in the back. You can drop wing
Right.
backs. You can be five. You've played as a winger. You've played as a nine. You played as an eight. You've played as a 10.
Right.
I think I've seen you in five, six different positions.
Yes, sir.
Is that something by design to develop a team that can adjust to the competition that you're playing?
I would say yes. I think it's good that we have multiple players that are versatile because it kind of gives the other team some different looks.
Hmm.
I could be playing the 10, I could be playing the 8, maybe in the last game, but who knows against, whatever team we're playing at that time. You could see me at the 9. You could see me at right wing. You could see me, let's say at left mid. So it definitely helps that people can play multiple positions, but for me personally, it just comes down to if you're willing to work hard and to buy in and play your role. I feel like for the most part, you should be able to play multiple positions. And that's also something that's different about us. I don't know about other teams, but like you said, we have multiple players that can play, just about anywhere. And that helps the team. We can have two really good players at one position, but one of them can play, two more positions. So that just helps competition wise, and that also helps, trying to put your best foot forward and put the best starting 11 out.
Yeah, it seems like it's really easy for you guys to adjust based off
Yes,
what's
sir.
happening in the game, what's happening, what the opponent does well, what they don't do well, what you can exploit. You guys adjust really well, whistle to whistle.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's been a fun ride. Let people know for Soda City what is the most important thing? If you guys end up lifting this trophy on Sunday, what's the
Mhm.
most important thing you got to do in these next 2 games?
I think we just got to be laser focused. We can't take a play off. We can't take a possession off. We have to buy in and be locked in the full game. And today's Wednesday. We leave Thursday, so it doesn't start. It doesn't start. This mentality doesn't start when the game starts. This mentality starts now, off the field. Your habits, what you're doing. You're going to bed, at a decent time. Are you putting the right things in your body? So for us, the mentality it starts now, and hopefully we can, do something that nobody else has done and lift that trophy on Sunday. As long as we're bought in and everybody plays their role and we're just laser focused, I think we'll be fine.
You guys are carrying the flag for the Southeast, so all of us are going to be watching and rooting Soda City on. The game's at 8 o'clock on
Yes, sir.
Friday night. You can watch on the UPSL YouTube page, and then Sunday would be the final. Hopefully, Soda City's in it. Hykeem, man, thank you so much for taking the time, and I'm really glad that you're going to be able to be part of this after a crazy quarterfinal match and watching everything that happened with that up close.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you so much.